It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All righty, welcome back to a wonderful Wednesday here on the program. Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and CB. Boys, how we feeling?
Oh, my goodness. With this weather today, I feel absolutely incredible, man. We're getting into, the mid-70s today? I feel awesome. It's a hump day, one day closer to the weekend, one day closer to Penn State, Ohio State. We got a WWE pay-per-view on Saturday. I got AEW tickets to give away in my hand right now because winner today will receive 2 tickets to see AEW Collision live at Nationwide Arena Saturday, December 7th. Tickets on sale now via Ticketmaster. So I feel like The Miz. I feel awesome. How you doing, big dog?
I'm doing great. We've got a nice show for you today. We got Schefter, bottom of the hour, as we do usually on a Wednesday with the big trade from yesterday. We'll have B. Carp on at 1:33 talking about that trip to Happy Valley on Saturday. We'll do Hockey and Hounds on a game night with Damon Severson, CBJ defenseman, at 2:33. We'll see if they can win 2 in a row. They haven't done it this year, but they are a team that I think has been underestimated. And maybe the tightness of this team, the relationships, pardon me, that are being formed early in this season are real. The structure has been real. The goaltending has been good enough. And they've made key saves at key times. I know that's cliche, but it's true. And so here we are with the Jackets, as I like to say, if the season ended today, they'd be in the postseason.
Talk about it.
I do say that knowing full well that we're 8 of 82.
Where are you sitting at tonight, big dog? You in the house?
I don't know.
Okay. This is just one of those
options.
Hey, if I feel like going at 5 o'clock, I just make a call over there. Tell them, hey,
you said how beautiful it's going to be. I want to enjoy the afternoon.
Oh, does that mean
and we'll see what happens?
Teeing it up?
I know it's going to be windy, man. I don't like to play in the wind, but it is late October, so who cares? If you can get it in, you get some swings in, you do it, so maybe I will. I do say that nothing really shocks me anymore, but a couple things that I witnessed last night in the World Series did. And I know we'll get into football today, and we'll. Oh, by the way, I'm so sorry I skipped.
What happened?
We'll get my boy Matt Finkes on at 2:03 today, former original Silver Bullet, and one of the great sack artists that's ever worn the scarlet and gray. Played on those big bad '90s teams, and he'll jump on at 2:03 today, and we'll discuss all things Buckeyes, his belief in them, and where they are now, the atmosphere at the Shoe, which I know he was tweeting about, which we certainly have talked about on this program before, and you and I will talk about that soon, and that's what jumped into my memory. So we also have Matt Finkes jumping on at 2:03.
There we go.
But last night, listen, I lived through the Steve Bartman ball with the Cubs. I was working at Channel 6 at the time, and it wasn't his fault when Alou acted like the guy was villain, like public enemy number 1.
He was chilling.
He had his Walkman on.
Yeah,
and by the way, he didn't reach into the field of play. The player came in, but every Cub fan in the world said, you got to know the situation. Ball's coming in the stands. Let your outfielder, everybody bail out. Really? You think fans are that instinctual when they're sitting in foul territory?
If it's your home team, you have to be. If it's your team, it's your job to be aware of situational baseball. Come on.
A fan's got to come to the park as prepared as the player.
You can go buy a baseball in the shop somewhere. If it's your team, AR, it's your duty.
Well, I was defending him that time.
It is your duty, like a man of the the Night's Watch protecting the wall.
Yeah.
To protect your team.
Yeah. More than the shortstop who boots a tailor-made double play.
No. Don't bring them into the conversation.
Don't bring in the highly paid millionaires.
If I'm
put
down
it on the fan.
If I'm down at GABP and there's a critical situation happening and I see Ellie De La Cruz sprinting my way and a foul ball's coming to me as well, I'm bowing out and saying, Ellie, this is your world. I'm just living in it, big dog. That's what you got to do.
Moises Alou was wrong. Steve Bartman was okay in my book, even though he probably doesn't go by that anymore because he had to change his name because he was...
That's tough.
Yeah, exactly. Change his name and move.
That's tough.
That's where we are in sports. And that was, by the way, a long time ago. And nothing really has changed. 20 years or 21 years. I saw, was it Mookie Betts?
It was Mookie.
Mookie Betts goes to the right field wall and catches a ball, which is okay. The fans are there, and they're Yankee fans. If they're going by Matty Ice's strategy, it's swat that thing down like a Hail Mary. Don't even try. Like, literally, pass interfere as a fan.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't try to swat it down like the guy from the Commanders the other day.
Yeah, Tyreek Stevenson. But when he catches the ball, and I've never seen this in my life.
Yeah.
It was like two guys on a New York subway trying to mug somebody. They tried to peel the ball out of his glove.
Looked like they tried to rip his arm off.
So one guy had his arm, and the other guy goes into his glove to get the ball.
It was wild.
Once the player has it, I mean, honestly, I've never seen that before. And maybe, who knows, maybe there's a lot of alcohol involved or whatever, but and hopefully those two guys touching a player when you're not like helping him or bracing him from a injury or something, but when you're grabbing a guy's wrist, one guy's got his wrist and the other guy's trying to get the Rawlings out of his glove.
It was I'm with you. That was a first for me as well. Luckily, those guys got ejected from the game. I did see that they're allowed to come back to another game, so this isn't like a lifetime ban or anything like that, but it was eye-opening to say the least, and you just roll through things in your mind that you've seen in a baseball game, and that's new. That's new on the bingo card. Is he had a tag team like the Hardy Bros trying to drop somebody from the top rope and ripping their arm off on the way down. It was nuts.
Season ticket holders, whatever. I mean, it was unbelievable. I'm okay with just the stuff that happens when you're going into the stands. That's normal.
Yeah.
Once he has the ball and you're trying to take it out of his glove, I feel like even touching a professional athlete in the field of play is just such a violation of any kind of code that you'd ever imagine.
I agree.
I can't imagine ever doing that unless he was diving into the stands and I'm sitting there and you just have to brace yourself. Like we've seen in NBA games. Well, we saw Jason Day move out of the way, but we've seen some others.
You talk about a tough look.
Instincts, baby.
It was his wife, correct?
That's right.
Yeah, that's a long ride home.
Listen, NBA fans, they're sitting around the court. You're going to take a size 12 right to the dome every now and then.
Hot cheese from your nachos.
You got to be willing to take that. And I'm okay then if there's touching involved because they're coming to you. But these guys, one guy with his wrist and the other guy get the ball.
It was too much.
It was crazy. I couldn't believe it.
It was too much.
Yeah.
You know what else you couldn't believe?
That's right.
Because CB and I received a text at 8:16 p.m. last night in all caps, quote, "Walk him." And I was cleaning up my bathroom at the time. I had the game on in the background. I'm like, oh, what happened?
What happened? And then
you
knew exactly what happened.
I hear
him. You know who
did
him
it again.
Is. He did it again.
He did it again. And it's absolutely insane. He's at 6 straight World Series games.
So now a Major League Baseball record. He was tied with George Springer. If you go back to his Atlanta World Series,
it's special.
I don't know, 8 years, whenever that was.
Yeah.
He's now homered in 6 straight World Series games. It's special. Never been done before.
Yeah.
And I can't believe with an open base at first, and I know it was the first inning, and Smoltz said the same thing. He's like, it's kind of tough. You're putting another runner on. I am telling you, this is the hottest hitter on the planet, as far as not from average, but taking a guy out of the park. And I think you had to put him on base.
Look, well, they got away with it. The Yankees did. Big picture,
they
got away with it. They did. My only pushback was just because of how stacked the Dodgers lineup is, and the guy that's behind him, and Hernandez,
the guy behind the guy
that's popped over 30 home runs. It's a dangerous game to play. But I hear you. It's just not the card that I would play, considering that you could stumble into a 3-run dinger right after that from Teoscar Hernandez. But Freddie Freeman is so locked in right now, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, it cost him a 2-run dinger by grooving one to that guy. And it's just, honestly, it's very cool that it happened. And you're right. Now it becomes a footnote because although I think everybody in the park or anybody watching thought maybe it's just destiny now, the sweep was in play. But the way the Yankees were putting up runs late and getting to the Dodgers bullpen, and then they hit a grand slam themselves. The Volpe rope to the left field, and so they hit a granny themselves. So they got top billing last night, which is cool. They stay alive. They put up 11 on them. And here we go. Part of me was having fun with it because, I've introduced the world now to the Nerfy, the no runs first inning, and Freeman spoiled that. The Nerfy is now 2-2.
Okay.
Won the first 2 bets, lost the last 2 bets.
You betting it tonight?
So what do I do tonight?
I think we just go all in on Freddie hitting another tank job.
Just make that the bet.
Just a Freddie Freeman dinger.
I wonder what there's going to be no value on this.
Pull it up for you, big dog.
Yeah. I think with Cole and Flaherty coming back, I'm going to go Nerfy again.
You know what? I will say this. Overall, the World Series, with how hyped up it was, has been a disappointment.
Really? I think the games have been great. The only disappointment is it might only go 5.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the Yankees are providing no pushback. The second biggest star in this, and Aaron Judge is doing absolutely nothing.
You don't think batting 152 is?
That's tough, man. Freddie Freeman tonight, you can get him for an anytime dinger at plus 475.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder if now they'll finally understand you don't give him much to hit.
They're going to keep pitching to him. I'm here to tell you that.
Okay.
It's just one of those unwritten rules.
Yeah.
You just
rules.
You just don't want to look soft.
You want to win the game.
What you're saying is logically correct, right? I understand it, but it's just one of those funky unwritten rules where it's like, yeah, we're
not saying walk him with the bases loaded. This is baseball, not backgammon. I'm telling you that we can walk him when we have an open base at first and there's a guy in second, we set up a force.
I don't know why.
I would have taken my chance with Teoscar in a force than with Freeman with a man in scoring position.
Listen, I hear you. It's just not what I would do.
But you're right. They rescued it. It doesn't matter.
Came back. Yeah, and here we are.
It may matter tonight.
Gotham City was on fire.
I can't believe they're letting those 2 dudes back in if they do have tickets.
Yeah, they're allowed to come back for game 5.
That's interesting to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's assault a player. Come on back. Just sit a few plays out.
You know who could take care of them? Hit up Sophia Falcone. She'll take care of them. You want to put a hit out on somebody? How'd she find the exact apartment? They told her Crown Point, but at the end, she's kind of in the apartment. That is a fair question to
Found
ask,
it pretty fast.
but a very eerie way to end the episode. I'm team Sophia over the Penguin. I just am.
How many more episodes do we have?
I don't know. I can't be more than 2 or 3. Can't be. Great speech from the Penguin, by the way. Getting everybody together, cracking
with
some
the
beers. Stone Cold
and
Steve
if you
Austin
actually
style.
cracked the beer, that means you're kind of with us. Yeah. It is an incredible strategy.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
It's a good show. They've
get together with the people you hate to try to knock off the people who are trying to knock all of us off, right?
Sophia's coming, though. She's coming.
You like the new haircut?
I'm in on anything she does.
Doesn't matter.
Anything she does, I'm in.
You hear that, folks? He's into it.
And we got a little taste of, 50 Shades of Sophia at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, what do you think of the doctor? He's a little off the wall.
He sees the vision that I see.
He clearly does.
I'll leave it at that.
And she sees his motivation for sure. All right. Yeah, they're right for each other, right? All right. Here we go. We'll come back. Atmosphere at games, especially college football, is measured in decibels. Is the shoe too silent? We discuss next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Common Man has spent the past 18 years telling you how much he hates people. And yes, that probably means you, too. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
Skyline is serving up special Halloween ways made with orange noodles this Wednesday and Thursday only. Stop in for Skyline Halloween ways or pick them up and take them home. October 30th and 31st only at participating Skyline restaurants while supplies last.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Hey, it's Anthony. Do more with your money at Tel Ohio Credit Union. If you know Tel Ohio Choice Checking, you know all the perks that come with your account. Cash in your benefits by setting up an account today. Find out more at telohio.org.
Certain restrictions apply. Tel Ohio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
As Cybersecurity Awareness Month winds down, LifeLock reminds you to update your software regularly. These updates fix security flaws that could be exploited by identity thieves. But don't stop there. LifeLock offers comprehensive identity theft protection that goes the extra mile. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious use of your info, but also takes action to resolve identity theft issues, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Getting ready for more rain and longer nights? We've got you. Right now, you can earn up to $25 in bonus rewards when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs and 2 Rain-X Quantum Elite wiper blades. More rewards and better visibility at America's #1 lighting destination, AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Offer valid for AutoZone Rewards members. Restrictions apply.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community. Except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station. Except Bo. The Fan.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change will help ease your oil change-anxiety. Picture expert technicians who are quick but not rushed. When you hear the bell, breathe in and out. Now, let go of your oil change anxiety. Visit Valvoline Instant Oil Change today and find automotive peace. No appointment needed.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
Dort, what's that guy yelling about on my noisemaker?
Dormar, your pilot hero.
Your climate hero, you fossil.
What's a climate hero?
That's Dormar, our same-day heating and AC company we've used for 60 years.
Who?
Dormar, your pilot hero.
Come on, Dad, you laugh every time you hear their tidy-whitey commercials.
Yep, those are funnier.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
Democrats will do anything to win. Changing the rules, mail-in ballots, cheating, and even opening our borders, all to win at any cost. Now they have a new scheme, Issue 1. Issue 1 would create a redistricting commission aimed at overturning key protections against gerrymandering in Ohio. Protections approved by over 70% of Ohio voters to prevent this exact kind of political manipulation of voting districts. And the members of this mysterious commission are backed by foreign special interest groups. They're unelected, unaccountable, and completely beyond voter control. If they abuse their power, there's no way to vote them out or hold them responsible. Their only purpose is to take control of Ohio's politics and turn the state from red to blue. This isn't democracy, it's deception. Don't let the Dems continue to rewrite the rules to rig the system in their favor. Protect Ohio's voice. Vote no on Issue 1. Paid for by Ohio Works.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Looking at partly cloudy skies today. Temperatures approaching that 80-degree mark. Not as warm tomorrow, but still pretty mild. 78 on your Halloween. We are tracking a cold front that will bring showers and thunderstorms between 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. on Halloween. It cools off on Friday with highs only around 60. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Like Yoda, Rothman will limp onto the golf course, talk about how stiff his back is, wonder how he can even make it through a hole, and then proceed to kick your ass. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
So Nebraska gave Ohio State everything they could handle, which is why Matt Rule, after the game, came out with what a great environment it was. Well, his team was having success in that environment. And it's interesting because there's a section of this fan base on the outside that thinks this atmosphere is average at best. We've talked about this over the years, that when you're this good, and you have so much expectation that it's not complacency in the fan base. It's like, we know you're going to give us something to cheer about. We don't need to manufacture the atmosphere for you. You're going to provide it for us. And when you go to Ohio Stadium and you see all the pomp and circumstance and the best damn band in the land and Script, Ohio, you know what's coming. It's like you're going to you're going to a play, and they're handing you the playbill, and you're seeing, like, what's coming. Oh, this scene. Oh, this is going to be a good scene here. It's going to be a good scene there. And You're not going to be standing up in the start. And sometimes, and I remember a few years ago when Oregon came in here, and I came back into the show that Monday because I was in the stands, and I remember saying to you, they were only there. The fans only made themselves known when they knew they were needed. And it's just sometimes, Maddie, it's just a parcel to being this good and having this tradition, that the tradition kind of runs itself. It perpetuates itself. And it's not a program where the fans come to the games thinking they're going to need us today. Now, Michigan for sure, and I've seen it and lived it in that regard. And maybe it takes that kind of deal. And here's the other thing. They weren't expecting to be needed against Nebraska. This was 2 weeks of hype. Here comes the angry team. They're ticked off about losing at Oregon. Nebraska just got their doors blown off, and here we are. And however, and the reason that we bring it up today is because Matt Finkes, great former Buckeye who will be on the program at 2:03, had tweeted out how bad he thought the environment is at Ohio Stadium, and that he went to Twitter and said, I'll say it again, after attending games at Washington and Oregon, then being at the shoe today, Buckeye in-game experience is awful. Fans are disengaged. No one stands up. No one cheers. No energy. Students roll in at the end of the first quarter. Just bad all the way around. And he said it's not all on the fans either. He said the university has to help manufacture some of that. Yeah. And I heard Bo say it the other day that he thought even the audio coming out of the speakers is you can't make out what they're really saying.
Inside the stadium.
Inside the stadium. Okay. And then to add to this, and maybe CB can add to this, because I saw that Carnell Tate, an active Buckeye, had retweeted someone who was not only making fun of the atmosphere, but blaming it on, like, middle-aged people. And somebody had tweeted something about anybody over the age of, was it 50 or 55, that needs to be escorted out of the stadium, like it's on them. Listen, this crowd has always been, I've said, 8 to 80. And by the way, that's just the margin. You can go beyond the margin because there are babies in there and there are people in their 90s in there. So I've always said 8 to 80 because it just sounds cooler. But I would say that these guys aren't wrong. And if you got an active player on that team, I know he's deleted it, but that means it has to be real to the people that have been in that uniform.
Yeah, 100%. The games that I've been to over the years, and I don't go to a bunch of them, I go to a couple a year, whatever it may be. I've never felt like, you know what? I need earplugs in here. I've never felt that. And this not only is a football thing, this has been a constant with the basketball atmosphere as well. And we've had plenty of conversations about, the location of the shot, is it close enough or too far from the students and all of that stuff, whatever. You can make whatever excuse you want.
But the students are there now in the
I'm just saying, that's been a conversation that the basketball games, the house hasn't been rocking enough, but specifically going to football, we can't pull every Buckeye fan. But I think it would be a sad thing, a sad reality if there are fans going into that stadium waiting for the team to do something to make them cheer. Whether you have a great history or a bad history as a program, that's the whole point of all of this, is for the team, the fan base, everybody to be on board with making your home atmosphere as crazy and as hectic as it can possibly be for your opponent. I'm not saying you need to be Kyle Field every week, Texas A&M and all of that type of stuff. I get it. But you do watch some of these games in the SEC, and it's a completely different ball game when it comes to the atmosphere, the juice, and just everything that's in that stadium. And we obviously all know that the capacity-wise, Ohio State has more than enough people in that stadium every single week to do that. So I hear Finkes. I understand Carnell Tate's side of things, because I've never left that stadium feeling like, man, my ears are going to be ringing for a week. I do think that there's another level that this fan base can get to on Saturdays to make the home environment for Ohio State better. It's not bad, but there's no doubt in my mind it can be better.
Well, and what you're saying there is true, which is that just because you have 100,000 and change doesn't mean that it automatically equals danger for the opponent.
No.
Now, here's what you really have to be, and this is just human nature. No one needs to stand the entire game. Don't sell me that garbage. I don't want to hear that. No one needs to do that. And I'll tell you what, there are people that are older than the age of 50 that don't want to be on their feet for 3.5 hours. And if the answer is, well, they shouldn't come, that's not cool. The other part is just be great on critical downs. Just be great on third down when the opponent has the ball. I'm not saying you have to be, because I know they cheer when the team comes in, and I know that there are moments where that crowd gets riled up. I've seen guys write about how the stadium doesn't offer the acoustics that Autzen Stadium does because it doesn't overhang as much, and you can't trap the noise inside. And that may be real for the audio experts out there.
But you got 100,000 people as opposed to 60-something thousand at Autzen Stadium.
But they say the 60,000 sounds better than 100.
And I know CB was there, and he said it was one of the loudest stadiums he's ever been in. I get that. But as far as bodies in the building, you got 40,000 plus more people. Crank it up. Do we got to talk to Dr. Dre and get a Beats by Dre sponsorship and get Beats by Dre speakers all in the joint?
Yeah.
Is that what we need to do?
Yeah. That would help. Maybe. All I'm saying is that if the environment was bad, which I'm taking him at his word it was, it's also because the team wasn't performing very well. I mean, can't take the team off the hook completely.
But that's your job as a fan to then crank it up even more. Get the guys going. That's my point. I hear you, right? But that's the other side of it, too.
Booing doesn't get them going?
Some guys, it might get them going. But I do think when you see your team struggling, crank it up a little bit. Crack open another high noon, and get it going.
CB, do they have they don't have a third quarter anthem, anything like that, do they?
No, I mean, they do hang on Sloopy, obviously, at the end of the third quarter. But selfishly for my job purposes, doing a game at Ohio Stadium is great because it's not super loud that I can control the audio when we're running it through the mixer. But yeah, Oregon and places like that, it's a nightmare for that side of things because it's just so loud and it's overwhelming. And I don't feel like we experience that a lot at Ohio Stadium unless if it's like you said, Michigan, maybe a big night game opponent. It's just lacking.
Yeah, it's fair. Matt will come on at 2:03 today and give us his true feeling. The guy lived it. He lives it now. And I certainly take his experience at a very high value. All right, we come back with Adam Schefter, the senior NFL insider for ESPN. Big trade for Maddie's Ravens yesterday. Will it put them over the top? We'll talk to him about it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's Ping Pong Game. The Fan.
I'm Leslie from Pella, Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One thing we keep hearing here in town, Wilson, is that the cost of Pella windows actually pleasantly surprises most people.
Pleasantly surprised?
You get the Pella next level quality and looks, but we also have 5 different lines to fit most budgets.
Our customers are almost always surprised, but it's never pleasant. Is there such thing as like angrily surprised?
Price is a little high.
Oh no, they're a lot high.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust and Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code Columbus now for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trust and Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney.
November is Veterans Month, and Awaken 180 is honoring all active duty veterans and spouses with 15% off your entire program, plus the same free support for life all clients receive. Celebrate Veterans Month with 15% off at awaken180weightloss.com.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance. Visit shelterinsurance.com and find an agent to help you choose the coverage you need. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
The Buckeye Show.
What will Will do if
you want 30 touchdowns?
I'm looking for 30 touchdowns. I'm needing to see single-digit interceptions.
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
With surgery and drugs being the main options to treat chronic joint pain, that left orthopedic surgeons like Dr. Ray Tessner thinking,
geez, wouldn't it be nice if we can have another form of treatment that eliminates some of the downside and has a bigger upside as we learn more about it.
And then he found it. Regenerative medicine, an exciting, fast-growing approach to dealing with pain using healing agents from your own body.
Well, it's using the miracle benefits of the human body to help encourage healing.
Today, you'll find Dr. Tessner at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving patients lasting relief from joint pain in their knees, hips, shoulders, and back.
It's one of the best management tools that has come around in a long time.
Finally, options other than surgery and steroids. All natural regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics. Learn more. Call today for your free consultation.
Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Ben Sattler, Assistant Vice President, Commercial Lending, on what makes First Bank of Central Ohio successful.
What we do as a community bank is really, listening to, that company, finding the solutions that best need their business and is not just a universal product that you could get anywhere else.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
NFL Playbook with ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Sponsored by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
All right, our weekly visit with the senior NFL insider for ESPN. He is the one and only Adam Schefter. He's on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Shefty, how we feeling today?
Anthony, Matty Ice, how we doing?
Well, we're doing great. And Matty, being the resident Ravens fan here, was rather excited when he saw your news yesterday about Deontay Johnson joining his team. But I'll ask this. Let's take it one step further because they still have time. The deadline is not for, when is the deadline? A few days from now, Tuesday. Will they make another move for a pass rusher, a safety? Let's make them true Super Bowl contenders for my man Ice, because when this came down yesterday, I didn't know what had happened, and I saw him going crazy, and I was going to guess, and my guess was going to be defense, not offense. Will they be moving again for something?
I mean, I think the good teams are always looking. If you're waiting for Myles Garrett or Max Crosby to be traded to your favorite team, that ain't going to happen. Right, but if there's a player out there on the fringes that they feel like can help, that some team's not asking an unreasonable amount for, then yeah, something could happen. But I mean, again, everybody's going to be waiting for all this activity Tuesday by 4, and I think it's important to keep in mind we've already had like 10 trades, roughly, including Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper, DeAndre Hopkins, Deontay Johnson, Cam Robinson yesterday.
What about Harold Landry? Would the Titans part with him? Will they?
He's a good young pass rusher. I don't know why you'd want to do that. Like, what? Just because you're not winning this year doesn't mean you're looking to get rid of players. Like, you could always trade them in the off season. They could be back next season to help you. Like, Harold Landry's a good player. Why do you want to trade him?
Well, draft picks, right? Trying to rebuild, trying to
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it depends what you're getting back. I agree with you. You already have a great piece in him. You're right. I'm not saying, I just was thinking it's one that they might consider.
Well, I think Harold Landry would interest a lot of people. And so if that is the case, like I would assume it to be, then what are you getting back for the guy to make it worth your while to trade him if they're even willing to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Shefty, let's go over to Indy. I couldn't wait to ask you about this whole Anthony Richardson, Joe Flacco situation. Looks like Joe Flacco is going to be their guy maybe for the foreseeable future. The whole him tapping out situation coming out of Sunday was obviously not the greatest look for Anthony Richardson. Was that baked into this decision, or was this decision solely focused on football stuff for Shane Steichen?
Oh, no, I believe that was absolutely baked into the decision. I think if he hadn't tapped out and admitted he was tired, I wouldn't be shocked if he was still starting this week. I think that's something that's hard to initially get past. I think people will remember that one for a while, and he's going to have some work to do to dislodge that memory and have something supersede it. But, that you lose the respect and trust of your teammates in the locker room when something like that happens. We heard Ryan Kelly, the coach center, come out and say that's not the standard that we expect around here. Ryan Kelly's one of the team leaders. Like, if he's saying that, what's interesting to me is yesterday morning I got a text, hey, FYI, sounds like the culture changing quarterbacks. I get the text early in the morning. I'm like, okay, here we go. So I called around to a couple of people, not in the Colts organization, but in other organizations, just to get their opinion, like, hey, do we think this is happening there? And the reaction that one intelligent, highly placed football person told me, that, like, when I brought it up, they're like, of course they're changing quarterbacks. I'm like, really? He's like, they have no choice. They have to do it. Like, I was surprised and taken aback at how other people viewed it as a non-decision. Like, oh, yeah, no, that's done. I was like, really? They're like, yeah, no, he's not going to be starting there. I'm like, wow, okay. So, again, I think within the football community, they looked at that as an act in which, it's time to take a seat and let somebody else run the ship.
We had a conversation yesterday about the Steelers and how well they're doing this year, and whether or not, my mind goes to that they may just run this back again next year and the same way, because what options will they really have at quarterback? If Russ continues to play well, you give him maybe a short-term deal. Could you pay Justin Fields to be the backup? Would he accept that? Like, what is your anticipation of how the Steelers deal with this position moving forward if you were in their front office? I know they're having a great year and their minds may be on just this year, but my mind went to, wow, I wonder if he's got some staying power now and Russ is going to get another contract with Pittsburgh.
Well, here's the whole thing, right? You bring in two guys at minimal cost, minimal. They gave up a 6, basically, for Justin Fields. They gave up nothing for Russell Wilson. They're paying him like $1 million. So you get to look at two guys with two good resumes and decide what you'd like to do. Now, let's just say that you decide that Russell is your quarterback. I think first and foremost, we have to see how the whole season plays out, how he plays, how far they go, what he does. Like, if somehow he led them on a Super Bowl run, he boosts his value, right? Like, to me, that's a part of it. You have to see how the whole season goes. Mm-hmm. But let's just say that a good season, made the playoffs, lost in the first round. Like, what is Russell Wilson going to get on the open market? You tell me. Like, is some team going to covet him as the – I don't know. There's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks, and it's not considered a great quarterback draft class. So would a team like – I'm making this up – the Raiders, the Panthers, the Titans, any one of these teams that needs a quarterback, what are they paying Russell Wilson on the open market. And we're just openly wondering out loud. What do you think that is?
Might be paying him, I don't know, $30 million?
I think that's not unreasonable, right? Like Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones, that kind of thing, if Russell has a good season, right? I think that's not unreasonable. I think it could be higher if Russell plays well. I think it could be lower if he doesn't, right? But let's call it $30 million. I don't think that's unreasonable quarterback, right? That's playing well. And by the way, I can make a similar argument for Justin Fields. So the chances are they're not going to bring back both, but you want to have one. So you want somebody to kind of distinguish himself, separate himself, and then reward that guy for what he does. And by the way, like, for them to bring back one of those quarterbacks, it's probably not going to be the $55 million that Jacksonville's paying Trevor Lawrence, and the $60 million that Dallas is paying Dak Prescott. It's probably going to be half that. So, right, that there's a bargain. So you just have to see how the season plays out. But I think they gave themselves an extended audition look at two different qualified quarterbacks, and then they can make a decision from there about who they like and what that particular quarterback's value might be.
Makes a lot of sense. Quickly, Schefter, I just wanted to ask you about Jameson Williams. It seems to be a guy that just can't get out of his own way, and now it looks like he's got another situation to deal with. What's the latest on the wide receiver for the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, the league will look into these things. They've already suspended him 2 games. What I didn't understand is he's got this substance issue that he gets suspended for last week. What I didn't get, I guess you want to get it out of the way. But if you appeal it, then you could prolong the process a couple of weeks and play in the game Sunday against the Green Bay Packers. Now, you can't time your suspension to pick the 2 games you want to miss. It doesn't work like that. And I'd have to look at their schedule. Let me open it up right now. But I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't want to miss that game in Green Bay against the Packers. So if I just appeal it and just kind of string this out, I know I'm putting it off, but maybe I'm going to be missing games later in the year, like Buffalo or at Chicago or at San Francisco. I guess there's no good time. There's no good time. But maybe he could have extended it a couple of weeks, and then he would have been suspended November 10th and 24th, home for Jacksonville and at Indianapolis.
Right?
Like, that would have been great, but he didn't do it that way. And now there's another issue, which it sounds like he didn't do anything illegal. It sounds like the police department is more under fire, under investigation, being questioned than Jameson Williams. But it's another incident, and if you're Jameson Williams, you just got to be smart about these things.
Yeah, they're too good of a team. He's too good of a player. Could be a very special season, and that's something he doesn't need and they don't need, and here we are talking about it. All right, Schefter, we've got to cut you loose. Great stuff as always. Back to work, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Well, next Wednesday we will have the completion of the NFL trade deadline and the completion of the presidential election. So it should be a rather eventful day next Wednesday.
No question. All right, thanks, my man. Be well.
Thank you, guys.
Adam Schefter, senior NFL insider for ESPN on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fangast Hotline. We come back. Maddie, can Michigan buy their way out of this mess? Maybe. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
News, opinions, and insight, all before breakfast. Rise and shine with Morning Juice.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Gambling too much? I'm Abdullah Mahmood, problem gambling counselor at Mary Haven, where we offer in-person, virtual, and group options. We're here for you no matter what, and that's a bet you can actually count on this football season. Go to maryhaven.com today.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here from Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, announcing our $99 home preventative maintenance checkup. Carpenter and Bryant will do whatever it takes to get you ready for the fall and winter ahead. Check us out at carpentercolumbus.com. That's carpentercolumbus.com.
The Buckeyes head to Happy Valley for a Big Ten battle with Penn State.
Live fan coverage starts Saturday morning at 6:30 with the kick at noon.
Every game, every season, your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
As Cybersecurity Awareness Month winds down, LifeLock reminds you to update your software regularly. These updates fix security flaws that could be exploited by identity thieves, but don't stop there. LifeLock offers comprehensive identity theft protection that goes the extra mile. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious use of your info, but also takes action to resolve identity theft issues, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Getting ready for more rain and longer nights? We've got you. Right now, you can earn up to $25 in bonus rewards when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs and 2 Rain-X Quantum Elite wiper blades. More rewards and better visibility at America's #1 lighting destination, AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Offer valid for AutoZone Rewards members. Restrictions apply.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-298-9532. 800-298-9532. Again, that's 800-298-9532. Coverage, deductibles, and claims may vary. For details, go to endurancewarranty.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Federal Elite Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Anthony's tennis shorts were so tight, they had to pixelate his crotch. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right. Boy, this Michigan football team just basking in the glow of their title. They don't really... I'm not saying they don't care, but man, you want to talk about falling off the map. Are they even in others? No, not even close. I was going to say they are the forgotten team, which makes them, I don't know if it makes them more dangerous or not. Listen, late November, if you can run the ball and play some defense, certainly you're in games. But
well, and if this Ohio State offensive line rolls into that game with the way it looked against Nebraska,
Michigan might never throw a pass.
Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant will be licking their chops. So
that's what keeps you in a game. It doesn't win a game for you, but it certainly keeps you in a game. Michigan gets Oregon this Saturday, I believe, in Ann Arbor. This is the start of Oregon's big travel run that I've been pointing out, and we'll see. I may be wrong. They may be just too good for these teams. These teams may not be able to compete with them, so the travel and the time and the short weeks and the back and forth across the country may not matter to this team, and they could easily prove me wrong because it started after the Ohio State game. You thought if they were going to have a letdown at all, it would have been in the next couple of weeks. They didn't. They go to Purdue, shut them out. They come back home. They whack Illinois, and now they go to Ann Arbor. They'll go home to play Maryland. Then they'll go to Madison. Then they'll go home to play Washington.
So
it may not matter.
More roadies.
Yeah, may not matter.
2 more roadies.
2 more roadies, but
I think your point
my point is where they are and where these games are.
There you go.
There's something there.
They're going to be favored in every. Or, you know what? I take that back. Actually, yeah, they're going to be favored.
Oh, they're the number one team in the country. They'll be favored in every game they play.
No question. I just didn't know what the whole big house stuff and all that. I'm curious what that spread is, though. If one of you guys could find that, I'd love to know what the spread is.
I'll find it for you.
For Oregon and Michigan.
Would you like to guess what it is?
I'm going to say Oregon's favored by 13?
15.
Okay.
Yeah, it's across the key number. That's where you go with that.
That sounds appropriate. So Michigan, they're a program right now searching for answers, currently at the most important position and in the future. And we saw the other day, Jack Tuttle retired because of concussions, and good for him for taking care of his health. Totally respect that, especially when it comes to the brain. But they have not had any type of consistency at quarterback this year, whether it's Orji or whether it's Warren or whoever has been there under center this season. And so now they're looking ahead to the future, Aaron. They're trying to swing big because there's reports coming out of Michigan that they're trying to land the number 1 overall recruit in the 2025 class, and he plays quarterback, and his name is Bryce Underwood. And he is from Michigan. So he's a Michigan guy that is currently committed to LSU. But the reason why his name has popped up recently is because reports are coming out of Ann Arbor that Michigan is apparently on board with offering this kid north of $5 million to commit to the University of Michigan. This is the game you got to play. They're trying to fast track themselves back into being an elite program because they've seen with their own eyes now that it ain't cutting it with the quarterback play we have right now. But imagine how good this kid feels. He's in high school walking around the hallways.
This is for next year?
2025 cycle.
Well, it works in their little plan. However, he's a big, massive piece of that pie then. Because when Ward Manuel came out, was it this summer, and said that we're going to start supporting and all that, and they came out swinging big with we're going to start doing it because Ohio State's, north of 20 mil. Michigan wants to be north of 20 mil. Who knows where all this really is, but they planned on distributing, what'd they say, $23.5 million, I think it was, in 2025. So if that kid takes up 5 of the 23.5, that's a nice slice of the pie. But if he's a key player, I don't know exactly how they'll handle all this. Everyone's working through this.
They've got a quarterback in their 2025 class. His name is Carter Smith. He's a 3-star recruit, but obviously if you could land this guy, arguably the best in the country, they're going to do that. And now it'll be interesting to see what counter LSU brings to the table, right? So this kid,
absolutely.
What do they say? Life's all about leverage. Negotiations are all about leverage. And this Bryce Underwood kid is absolutely sitting pretty right now because now he can go back to Brian Kelly and say, you want me to come down to Death Valley? Fire up the cash register, big dog.
But they're not really supposed to be paying them directly yet.
You got your collectives on it.
You know? Yeah, I know, but this money's coming from not only collectives and donors, it's coming from that extra CFP money that's going to be rolling in, right?
Well, also, I'm sure you guys have seen the owner of Barstool, Dave Portnoy's also kind of hinted at, upping his donation fund to this too. So that plays a factor.
A little bit of that Barstool cash.
A little of that wealthy donor, help us out. But some of the revenue sharing stuff will be offset by all that extra CFP money that's going to be distributed starting when? 26, I think? Or is it after this year? I don't know. It's hiding in plain sight for sure now. It's give them whatever they want, find any way to get it to them. All right. My friends over at Germain Honda of Dublin have some great deals for you. You don't have to be a $5 million NIL recruit to get these deals. Rich told me about the 2024 Civic LX, 36 months, $249 a month. The 2024 Accord LX, 36 months, $279 a month. The HRV, the 25 HRV, 36 months, $279 a month. They've got rates starting as low as 0.9%. Go over there, talk to them, talk to my friend Jerry. They will hook you up and set you up. Same-day service, no appointment necessary. Once you become a Germain Honda of Dublin customer, there's more than 300 pre-owned vehicles to choose from. And go over there and take a test drive, talk to the people, and you'll realize, why they are the Central Ohio Honda dealership. And my favorite one, Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270. We come back, top of the hour, play a little true or false. You can play along with us. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
Hey Columbus, Caden Curry here, Ohio State student-athlete for Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. I've had to be versatile my whole football career. Of course, I'm a defensive end, but I've also played special teams and even played fullback. Whether I'm blocking or tackling, I've got to be ready for any job out there, which is why I love the versatility in Kubota's BXB and L Series tractors. There's no task too big or small with Kubota tractors from Green & Sons. Visit greenandsons.com today, or stop by their stores in Mount Sterling and in Raymond, north of Marysville, and get yourself a Kubota tractor that works as hard as I do.
Get out there and have some fun in a new Toyota. With more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, anything's possible. Like the family-size Highlander with room for up to 8. Now through November 4th, you can lease a Highlander XLE all-wheel drive for $489 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
APCO Windows, Siding, and Decks is a family company my dad started in 1962. We don't rely on sales gimmicks, so get multiple estimates. Just make sure one of them is from APCO.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can trust APCO.
APCO.com.
Post Malone is teaming up with Raising Cane's to empower the next generation of artists. For a limited time, 2 exclusive double-sided Post Malone posters are available at Raising Cane's. So post up your combo at Cane's while supplies last and support a good cause. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Integrity, honesty, and quality. Words we live by here at Monogram Homes. Hi, this is Dina. And at Monogram Homes, we strive to bring your wants to your man cave, your needs to your kitchen, and your ideas to life. Most home builders claim to be custom, but starting with stock floor plans and templates isn't our idea of a tailored experience. At Monogram Homes, we start with a blank slate and work with you until you get exactly what you want. So start your true custom home journey today with a builder you can trust. Monogram Homes. Visit us online at monogramhomes.net.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. For instance, on September 21st, 2019, UCLA trailed Washington State 49-17 with under 7 minutes left in the third quarter. From that point forward, the Bruins erased that 32-point deficit, outscoring the Cougars 50-14 to win 67-63.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Getting ready for more rain and longer nights? We've got you. Right now, you can earn up to $25 in bonus rewards when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs and 2 Rain-X Quantum Elite wiper blades. More rewards and better visibility at America's #1 lighting destination, AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Offer valid for AutoZone Rewards members. Restrictions apply.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Eric Reeser. The Blue Jackets are back on the ice tonight hosting the New York Islanders. Face-off from Nationwide 7 p.m. You can hear Blue Jackets hockey on the Fan with pregame coverage at 6:30. Elvis Merzlikins will start in net for the second game in a row. Elvis had 31 saves Monday in the Jackets' 6-1 win over the Oilers. CBJ are back at Nationwide on Friday hosting the Jets before embarking on a 5-game road trip. In baseball tonight, the Yankees host the Dodgers in Game 5 of the World Series. First pitch from the Bronx is 8:08. New York stayed alive last night with an 11-4 win in Game 4. Game 6 would be Friday night in Los Angeles. In the NBA tonight, LeBron and the Lakers are in Cleveland to battle the 4-0 Cavaliers. Tip-off there, 7 o'clock. And in college football, number 4 Ohio State's at number 3 Penn State Saturday at noon. Hear from Ohio State's head coach tomorrow at noon on The Ryan Day Show. This update sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice, the #1 rated midday show in Columbus.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, second hour of the program will include Bobby Carpenter, 133. We'll talk Buckeyes going to Happy Valley. CB, true or false, MLB took our advice from early in the show, and they're going to go after those two goons that tried to mug bets for a baseball and not let them back in. True or false?
That would be true. It just came down that they're doing that. They'll get the tickets refunded, and they will not be in attendance for Game 5.
You know what you got to do now? If you're those guys, you got to get in your Arya Stark bag, and you got to go into the House of Many Faces and get one of those masks that you can and just come in with a whole new identity. You know how Arya was just absolutely incredible with that. By the way, one of my favorite scenes in all of Game of Thrones, where she takes out the phrase, that whole house in that room, and she hits him with the line, "Keep one wolf alive and the sheep are never safe." That's just a bar right there from Arya Stark, but that's what you got to do. But I agree. This is
How about
the
dude wearing the sunglasses on the right?
Sunglasses at night? Not mad at it.
Corey Hart style.
Not mad at it.
He can watch you weave, then breathe your storylines.
Yeah, this is the right call.
Yes, it wasn't even a question in my mind. Like, all right, you got caught up in the action. Get your hands off the player.
Don't touch the merchandise.
We'll get you a souvenir baseball. We'll find a way. We know people at Rawlings. We'll get you a ball. You're adults. My goodness.
Oh,
all right.
Man.
All right, CB, take it away. True or false?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Under a slate gray sky, a ragtag group of renegades.
You know, I tried to do that when you were out.
The autumn wind is a pirate.
I tried to do that when you were out last week or whenever that was, and I was just like, I'm not built like AR. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. It was pretty weak on my part. I got to be honest.
Weak sauce?
I tried to hold it down for you, but it was pretty weak.
No one can be John Facenda. Anyway, all right.
So I brought this up before the show, and you guys couldn't guess the answer of it correctly, but I don't think the average person could guess who is leading the league in receptions right now.
And if I couldn't get it, I don't think anybody could get it, and not because I would know more. It's because I own the damn guy. Like, that's the weirdest part. Now, the sad part is, and the reason I didn't know this, is because most of these catches are not touchdowns. That's the only sad part. I excel in two things: stretching the truth and identifying rookie tight ends.
Yes, but Brock Bowers, he's over 50 receptions, on pace for over 100 on the season if he keeps it up. But the question is, true or false, Brock Bowers will finish in the top 5 of the reception leader list?
No.
Really?
Not with that quarterback. I know you could force feed him, Matty. There's no way he's top 5. Jamar Chase is going to pass him. Drake London will pass him. Neighbors will probably pass him. CD will pass him. JJ should pass him, but he's... And by the way, the other thing is I think he's played more games than some of the guys I just mentioned. He's played one more game than those guys.
Yeah, I think he hasn't had a bye week yet.
Yeah, no, he's having a great season. I wish he'd get in the end zone more. I worry about the quarterback play at this point. I would say an absolute false that he will be top 5 in total catches.
You mentioned the touchdowns. He's only got one tutty on the year so far. He's awesome, though. Like, he really is. I'm very tempted to say true on this. But I think the safe bet would be to go false, but he's been as advertised. We watched him at Georgia. He suffered an injury last year, so we didn't get to see much of him at all down in Athens. And he's just always been this do-it-all weapon, right, where you can move him around and put him in different areas of the field, and he can hurt you. So they definitely have their weapon of the future. Man, this is tempting, man.
But add the coolest part to it.
What's that?
Which is the guy that he caught passes from at Radio Row.
Oh, it was you. You got him ready for this.
That linked.
You got
and then
him.
I draft him in fan. I mean, it all comes.
We see him in New Orleans again this year. You got to let him know.
That's right.
Like, hey, man, this is the Anthony Rothman anti-curse here.
Button hook.
You play catch with me, lead the league in receptions. I'm going to roll with false on this, CB. There's too many wide receivers that are around him that I think will leap him. And AR brought up a good point with he already has one extra lap around the track. So I'm going false.
All right, I have to change this one just a little bit because Anthony Richardson did lose the starting job to Joe Flacco today. But the way I'm going to phrase it is true or false, Anthony Richardson will have lost the starting job of the Colts for good.
I don't think this is permanent. I don't. Now, it wouldn't surprise me at all, CB, if this is for the remainder of the 2024 season. But I'm assuming when you ask that, you think that he's never going to be the starter again for Indy?
That's how I want it to be phrased.
That's a little too spicy for me. A little too much cayenne on that for me right now. But Anthony Richardson, he has the physical tools to do it. Now, a lot of people are going to question, does he have the mental capacity to do it based off of the whole tapping out thing, which is fair to question now because it's just crazy that he did that. And then,
and by the way, don't say you're tired.
Lie. Just lie.
Don't say you're tired. Just say, I felt something in my hip or my knee felt a twinge. I don't know if I'd go with tired.
You don't admit that.
Yeah.
You absolutely just get behind that microphone and lie. But because of where they drafted him, CB, and what I think is still a good physical skill set that he has, it's just going to take time. Yeah. He has not played a lot of football, even going back to high school. So I'll go false with your question there.
Yeah, this is, like Maddie said, this is not. The weird part for me is that the Colts are definitely a playoff. They're a playoff, or they're sniffing playoffs, right? So, you wonder whether Flacco can take you all the way. Right now he has, but no, there's no way he never starts another game for Indy. That would be...
Maybe traded in the offseason?
I don't think
you'd be trading him very low anyway because he hasn't been good. And I don't think you can take the chance of that guy coming back to haunt you because he might get better. If he takes a little that cayenne off those short throws or whatever, if he does a few things with his touch and ball placement and rolling, decision-making has been horrible for him early on, but he's a dual-threat quarterback at 6'4", 245. That was a poor man's Cam Newton coming in, and I think they're willing to give him a shot.
He's only 22. I think you got to see it through for a few more years.
Yeah, you picked him 4th overall.
Absolutely.
You can't just say he's a bust. We can, but they can't.
All right, the Kings of the North reside in the NFC North. All of the teams in that division are over 500 right now. True or false, all of those teams will finish 500 or better.
How about true or false, there's no way a team can finish 500? They'd either be over or under.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Okay.
Yes, over 500,
Okay.
yes.
So you said 500 or better. I thought
I'm
maybe
still stuck on the 16-game season.
A loophole. Yes, no NFL team will finish over 500. You said all.
You guys are confusing me.
You said all
Every
of them?
single team in the NFC North will finish above
All right, so
500.
I'll answer it this way, Maddie. No NFL team will finish with a 500 record or better because you can't finish 500 or better. You either have to be better or worse.
You know when you start doing math, my mind just...
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no, and don't hate me for this, CB. I doubt the Browns finish above 500.
I'm talking about the
He's
NFC.
talking about your
North.
division, Big Dog.
I thought you meant your division.
Yeah, no, that's what he said. The Kings of the
Because
North.
they all currently are above
They
500.
are. Bears in the basement at 4-3, and they just lost in a heartbreaker by the Hail Mary. Thanks to your boy, what's his name? Tyreek Stevens? Is that his name?
That's right. He was busy.
Talking trash, man. Oh, my God. I still can't believe it.
All teams finish... Boy, it feels like they would. Yeah, I think the Bears should be 5-2. They're not. They still get to play Arizona, New England, and Seattle at home.
I don't like their schedule. Backloaded. Packers, Vikings,
But I'm just
Lions twice,
all right,
Niners.
Let me get this. If they get to 5, they
Bears
need to
aren't
get to
gonna do
9.
it. Bears aren't doing
5, 6.
Who are you giving the
7?
Who are they beating? You're doing this, man. Who are
I'm
they beating?
saying that they could or should beat Arizona. They should beat New England. That would get you to 6. I need to find 3 more.
I can't do it.
Maybe they get 1 or 2 of those home games against the Packers or the Vikes.
I'm not seeing it.
And they get Seattle. That would get them to 9. If I could get them, I need to get them those 2 to get them to 6.
Here's where they're going to get screwed. 3 straight roadies of coming out of a Sunday afternoon game against you guys. Short week at Detroit. Happy birthday to you.
Vikes aren't going to lose on my birthday, are they?
They better not.
All right.
They're, the 3 straight roadies of at Detroit, at San Francisco, at Minnesota, I think is what will hold them back from this. So I'm going to go false. You're in, though.
All right. I'm gonna squeak them in at 9. At 9 wins, yeah.
All right, number 4, the Titans out-tank the Panthers and win a chance to draft Sanders with the first overall pick.
Interesting.
So I was trying to help this out because I was telling Schefter, trade Harold Landry, and he...
Yeah, trade Jeffrey Simmons while you're at it, too. Their defense has been good this year, so I can understand them not wanting to give up on that. What's their overall record right now, Tennessee? Where are they? Are they sniffing around anything that could get interesting if they win a couple in a row?
The Titans?
Yeah, where are they at?
The Titan Brodeurs. They are currently 1-6.
They're cooked. I'm with you. I would trade everybody.
Of course. Now, Harold Landry is a nice young piece, but that's why I listen, I couched everything with Schefter is the price has to be big because you can't just take a draft pick and make him Harold Landry.
I hear what you're saying.
All right, so, but if you're getting multiple, I would have called up you guys. I would call up the Chiefs. I would call up a lot of teams that are right there ready to get their ceiling as high as possible.
Would you like to hear the next 5 games?
Yeah, run it.
They have the Patriots this week. Then they have the Chargers, Vikings, Texans, Commanders.
Okay. Yeah, there's a couple in there where maybe... No, I'm not even going to say that. They got Mason Rudolph playing quarterback. Like, we know what that looks like. I'm always team tank it out when you're at this point. You're 1-6, throw in the towel. Getting back to your question, CB.
Will they out-tank him?
Boy, I want to say yeah. The trajectory of their season leads me to believe that they will out-tank the Panthers. What are the Panthers?
Dalton back?
I don't know.
From his
I don't know.
Thumb incident and the car accident?
I mean, you asked about Anthony Richardson. Are the Panthers completely done with Bryce Young after this year?
He seems more of a tradable piece, but I don't know what you get a little showcase now with him, but
if you and I are running another front office and the Carolina Panthers called us and said, do you want Bryce Young? We're hanging up the phone.
I would take Richardson over
all
Bryce.
day and tomorrow. They out-tanking the Panthers, though, the Titans? I'm saying true.
Have you looked at the Panthers schedule?
It doesn't even matter.
Doesn't matter.
I have the Saints, Giants, Chiefs, Buccaneers, Eagles, Cowboys,
they're in trouble.
Cardinals, Buccaneers, Falcons.
Did just trade Deontay, though.
But they got Leggett. Xavier Leggett.
What's up with your boy Thielen? He's still down there, isn't he?
IR, I think.
I thought he's coming back.
Yeah. Oh, he might
I think
be.
they opened up his 21-day window.
All right.
I'm still going true. I'm
going to say false. I think the Panthers find a way to out-tank them.
And you just take another quarterback.
Yeah. Absolutely. In this quarterback draft, I don't think Schefter said it's a bad draft.
It's not very good.
It's okay.
Yeah,
there's some, he's right. There's no can't miss dudes, but there's some intrigue. CB's already picking up Shedeur from the airport.
He's been doing the little watch dance, for weeks now.
Yeah. All right. We're going to come back with a comeback. And is this guy the comeback P-O-Y? We'll talk about it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation, and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
The time to save big is now. It's Ford Truck Month at your local Ford dealer, and the time to buy is now. Make way for great offers across an amazing lineup of Ford trucks, featuring the built Ford Tough F-150 and Super Duty. Check out the versatile Ford Maverick and the capable Ford Ranger. But you can't wait. These limited truck month deals won't last. Check it all out at buyfordnow.com. Then get over to your local Ford dealer today. Hurry in, as these deals won't last long.
It's Thursday Night Football on the Fan. Catch the Texans and Jets from MetLife Stadium. Live coverage starts Thursday at 8.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home of the NFL, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just a slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Democrats will do anything to win. Changing the rules, mail-in ballots, cheating, and even opening our borders, all to win at any cost. Now they have a new scheme, Issue 1. Issue 1 would create a redistricting commission aimed at overturning key protections against gerrymandering in Ohio. Protections approved by over 70% of Ohio voters to prevent this